All right, what's up, everyone? Happy Sunday. Man, absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful day out here. I love walking by this park. You know, I've kind of set up a routine for myself where, you know, I go for this walk, and the first half I just kind of listen to music and get my thoughts together, and about halfway through I stop and I do this thing called a primal squat where, you know, I just do a full squat all the way down and hold it for 3 minutes and focus on my breathing and stuff. But, you know, the second half is when I get to talk to you guys about some of the things I got going on after I'm, you know, fresh and ready. And I had somebody reach out to me recently, and shout out to Ryan if you're watching here, called me up and said, man, I need your help. I was like, well, what can I do for you? So he explained what he had going on, and, you know, he's like, I really want to make a change, but I need some direction, but more so someone to hold me accountable to things. And, you know, first of all, I give him props for recognizing that and reaching out for help before he started in the wrong direction. So that's kind of first and foremost, is, you know, recognize that we all can use a little bit of help. But secondly, you know, having somebody to team up with and work with on things really can increase your success level tenfold. I mean, it's amazing how much we will do for someone else versus ourselves. So if we, you know, set a goal for ourselves and we say, okay, by, you know, 30 days down the road, I want to have lost 10 pounds, right? Well, that means you've got to change your diet, and you've got to exercise and get better sleep and drink more water and do some things, right? Well, subtle change doesn't necessarily create catastrophic consequences. So if we don't do some of these things and we're the only one there to notice whether or not we do those things, a lot of times we're easy on ourselves and say, oh, well, it doesn't matter that I'm eating a cheeseburger instead of a salad. You know, I can do better the next week. I still have 29 days out of my 30 days or whatever it may be. And you don't have somebody else directly to hold you to the goal that you set and not allow you to say that it's okay to fail. The way that you go about deciding whether or not to get a cheeseburger or a salad in the first place changes. So simply having someone there that knows what you're doing, knows where you're going, and can simply be there to say, hey, do you remember what we talked about? You remember that agreement that we made about, you know, getting to this point? If you know that's already on the table and things are transparent, they can hold you accountable to those goals. So even without somebody, you know, there all the time, you can have that kind of person on your shoulder sort of mentality, your own conscience that says, this decision that I'm making now doesn't just impact me, it impacts the other person that I'm working with on this goal setting. Okay, so when we apply this in our lives, you know, this is one of the things that I always thought was hilarious, is if it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would ever get done, right? And it's because that's the point at which accountability kicks in. When you get to a deadline, you get to a due date for a bill or a completion date for a project, or, you know, deadline for whatever goal you set, that's when you see all of the consequence revolving around the decisions that you make. So we want to make sure that we hurry up and get things done. It looks great, you know, we've met all the requirements for achieving that goal by that time, so that we don't feel like a failure. You know, one of our driving motivations in life is to achieve pleasure and avoid pain. So we know when we get to a deadline and we haven't achieved what we want, we feel that pain and anguish inside, that mental letdown that says, oh, I didn't do what I wanted to do. That effect is much smaller when you're the only person involved and you can let yourself down because you're constantly with yourself all the time. You talk to yourself about things, you go through everything, you know, in your life, and you learn how to deal with your own personal letdowns, I guess. But if you're letting other people down in the process, we will take that and use that as a much stronger motivation to avoid that sort of pain. Because causing pain to ourselves is one thing, but causing other people pain simply because we made choices that we knew were wrong and didn't follow through with the steps that we needed to in order to hit the goal that we set with this other person, it becomes so much more impactful, to be able to change the way that you go about the whole process from the beginning. So if you're trying to accomplish something, you want to lose weight, get a workout partner. Get somebody, that you can talk to about your diet, what they're eating, what you're eating. You guys can go to the gym together. Simply having somebody that you have to meet at the gym that is just as strongly convicted as you. Okay, this is the thing, is you can't have somebody that's an accountability partner that will not hold you accountable. You can't have somebody that wants to cancel on you all the time, because then they're not being accountable to you either. So you have to find somebody that's on the equal level and going in the same direction as you. And lock arms with that person. Hook up with them on a regular basis. Because just having that consistency of somebody else to bounce ideas off of and to distract you from maybe some of the not so enjoyable parts of it, eating crappy food that you don't necessarily like, I shouldn't say crappy, but people think it tastes bad or whatever because it's not a cheeseburger, it's, a kale salad or whatever it may be. Having to go through that tough workout because it makes your body tired and sore and sweaty and takes time away from gardening and reading magazines or whatever else you would be doing. Having somebody else there to meet at the gym and to go over recipes with increases how much success you're going to have, not only during those individual times where you're eating that meal or you're doing that workout, but in every single action that leads up to meeting that end goal, so that you can say throughout that 28 or 30 days, I performed every single chance that I got to be able to end up meeting that goal. And so realizing that not only having that long-term goal, but breaking that down into very short goals. Successes come in really small packages that are multiplied to reach that end goal. Every meal matters. It only matters a little bit, and every workout matters, but it only matters a little bit. So when you do good or you do bad, there's not a monumental feedback, good or bad. So it's very important that you understand it's that compound effect of the things that you consistently do over and over and over time that gets you to that end goal. There is no way to skip steps. You have to put in the work and you have to do it. Having somebody there that can hold your hand, participate in the same process, and keep your mind focused because you guys are both going towards that goal, you're definitely going to accomplish a lot more than you will simply on your own. So if you do not have somebody that you can reach out to, and involve in your personal goal setting and being accountable, meet someone new. Okay, this is something in our society that is very tough, but to talk to people that you do not know, see somebody else that is not somebody you've ever talked to, but they're in the same arena, they have the same interests, they go to the same gym, you see them there consistently, they seem to know what they're doing. Reach out to that person and say, hey, I see you here all the time, you're doing an amazing job, I've seen you go from this to that, improving yourself. I'm trying to, keep myself on track, and I don't really have anybody that can help me with that. I was curious if you'd be interested in, helping me, with some tips that you have on what's been working for you, kind of thing. So it's very easy to not only work with somebody that you already know, but if you don't have that accountability partner and somebody to reach out to, then you can step outside of your comfort zone, create a bigger circle of influence, and meet with some people that you don't necessarily already know. We have a hard time with that in life, and a lot of times, the only people that we interact with are people that we're forced to interact with, people that we live near or we work by or whatever it may be. So getting out of your comfort zone puts things on a different plane of thinking for yourself, so that when you go into the gym and you've got that other person that you know is going to be there every single day because they've shown you that over time, just them being there, seeing you walk in the door, can almost be enough accountability, even if you don't talk to that person every day. Just reaching out that one time, them giving you some tips, you know. And you may be doing something in the gym that is incorrect, and they can come over and give you some advice. Oh, hey, I noticed you were doing this. Maybe if you pull your elbow in and do this kind of thing, it'll help a little better. So make some new friends. Find some people that can help you stay focused on what you want to accomplish to help you improve yourself and reach the goals that you're setting for yourself. If you're not setting goals, definitely start doing that as well. So appreciate you guys today. I will be back here in a couple of days with something else I wanted to chat with you. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll see everybody next time.